Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our drift channel. Today doing some stuff on the RX7 because I want to test it this weekend, drift skills. So I've got to fix my steering shaft. I'll show you. Thanks to young Mike Lake over there. He actually pointed out that my steering shaft has you can see that thing in there. Yeah, it's got play, so it's actually twisting slightly in there, so I'm going to weld that solid in there. Happy days. And make my steering nice and tight. Also, I'm hoping to put in this diff brace. This is a diff brace which goes this way. Goes up there, something like that. Yeah. So I've got to take my exhaust off, bolt that thing on there, and then MX5, get some things. Hard race, adjustable rear camber arms for the MX5. So a nice bit of kit, nice and solid. Actually come with rubber bush arms at the top, and so it still feels not too harsh in the back. You can take a few hits and still not smash any arms and stuff too badly. But the car's struggling to keep up with some of the faster cars now. It used to be pretty good. I could keep up with other people pretty easy because it was so light and had like relatively early torque. But with the grippy boy tires on, it struggles to spin them, and it makes it a bit hard to drive. So I want to have more adjustability in the back end. I can get more grip in with the street tires and then take some out when I run the grippy boys, make the car a bit more drivable. And then what else? Cat's car, C80. This car's been on the track for like 9 years, so it's pretty tired. It's got all the adjustable arms in the back, but they're all a bit flogged out and they've been bashed into ripple strips and whatnot. So I've got new rear hubs for this thing. GK Tech adjustable traction rods for the back to get some more grip. It's pretty nice. They come with rubber dust boots and stuff. Apparently they don't need video. Also got a GK Tech hydraulic handbrake for this car because the cable's getting pretty stretched and stuff. It comes with a wheelwood slave. So it's pretty sweet. Bought the line kit and everything from GK Tech, so it should all just bolt up once I make a mount for the actual hydraulic handbrake lever. What's that? Oh, that's the rear camber arms. Rear camber arms as well. It's got adjustable rear camber arms in them, but they're a bit going. They're old, flogged out. Rose joints have had 9 years of dust go through them, so they've pretty had it. So yeah, that's what we're up to. So I'm just going to weld up the steering shaft thingy for the RX7, get that back in, and hopefully test it this weekend. That's what I've been up to in this car. I don't know if I can show you, but I did have, if you can see there on my sump, I had a slight oil leak from a pinhole in one of my welds in my sump. So I actually welded that while it was in there with it full of oil. Happy days. So it seems to have stopped because it was dripping on the floor, but it's not dripping on the floor anymore. After like a week, I'd come and look at it and it would be like one drop there. Where'd that come from? Irritating. Anyway, that's done for now. So roll this bad boy up, chuck that back in. Stay tuned. The toxicity of a city. Man, what is that? Nasty. Let it burn, let it burn. Put some big boy gloves on. This thing. Alrighty, so on the weekend, I took the RX7 to Winton for the skip end to do some testing, test the new lock kit on the front, and everything went sweet, apart from the blow-by. It's still got a fair bit of blow-by, so I'm gonna try and fix that. I'll show you a little turn the, there we go. I've got this sweet feature over in here. Turn the tap and drain the goo. It's blowing a fair bit of oil out the lines in the cam cover. That's been sitting overnight as well, so it's still milky as. A lot of oil. It's a lot of oil. Yeah, it's a lot of oil. That was after my little full throttle blades around the outside, which we'll insert here, some footage. Chop that. Oh. How good is that? You just turn it off, it stops, and then you can not have a giant mess everywhere. That goes on the bottom of my catch can, obviously, which is this can here. Anyway, so there's one bottle. What's that? 500 ml or something? Or and still some coming out. So anyway, my theory is because I moved my breather lines to here from factory location, which is here, and inside the cam cover there's baffles all the way up to here somewhere, and they stop, and then inside there's nothing. So basically all the air, because it's running a fair bit of boost, pressurizing the crankcase, can easily just blow up with any oil that's flicked up on the inside there and just blow it straight out. So I think it's all just coming straight out. So, because I did weld in some little plates in there, but not very big. They're only small. I thought all I had to do was block the sort of splash off the cam lobe that was near it. But I think any sort of stuff that's getting thrown around the inside is sort of getting dragged up and out the outside of the cam, inside of the cam cover, and out the line, because I left gaps the whole way around those plates. I only tacked them in place, sort of thing. So I'm going to weld them solid and overlap the plate as well further up, so the air that wants to get out has to come all the way up and zigzag its way through the baffles to get out. It will give more time for the oil to drop out and just run back out of the baffle plates into the head where it should be, and not just get blown straight out, because that's yeah. So I'm going to try it. Anyway, stay tuned. Alright, so just buzzed the cam cover off and just had a quick inspection of my engine building handiwork, and there's no scores on the cam lobes or anything. It's all pretty sweet. So that's good. It's comforting to know that I didn't mess up the engine build or anything too badly. And here's my cam cover, and this is what I did originally inside. So I welded this plate in here as a baffle, and obviously it's got holes around it everywhere, so the oil can really just blow up this end and then straight out set fitting on the side. So it wasn't really that good. I thought it was just sort of, all I need to do is stop the splash. That's kind of what I thought, from it splashing directly and going out the hole. But obviously there's so much airflow going through there that it's just dragging anything up and out with it. So I need to stop that and make it a lot harder for the oil to get out there. So I'm going to have to do something fairly extreme. So I may lay a thin layer of tin like this and pop rivet it with little spaces and space it down slightly, so the air has to travel all the way up to this end to get out and go down this way to get out through there and out that breather. So anyway, we'll see. Stay tuned. Alright, so I changed my mind about what I'm going to do with the cam covers to help solve the breathing issue. I'm not going to change anything here, actually just blocking it off. So I put a cap on there and I welded on another fitting here and drilled a hole through into the front section of the baffled area, which is near where the original factory one was. So any oil that wants to exit from this side of the engine has to go up and all the way forwards and out this hole. I'm going to put a 90-degree fitting on, because this is actually going to go, the line unfortunately is going to have to go across and over the top of my cam cover and back onto the catch can over here. Because I was looking and I was like, you know what, this side of the motor is actually so low and all the oil is already pooling up here. It's just sitting in here. You can see it's just sitting in there. So it's not much effort for the oil to slush up and end up going out the breather, which was just here at this height here. So that one's way higher on the other side. So I'm going to leave it. Ooh, sorry, gimbal. I'm going to leave that one because I want to try and fix it one thing at a time. I don't want to change both of them and not know what fixed it. So I'm going to do one side, which I think this side's the problem, because this is the low side, right? The engine sits on a 10-degree angle, so all the oil that would pool up at the back, because you're accelerating, all the oil should be at the back of the head, most of it anyway, and then sloshing up the side with the air blowing out, dragging it out with it, going out the hole. So there's no oil trying to go forwards, so hopefully that'll allow the air, by having the fitting here, it will allow the air to go out and not take a whole bunch of oil with it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to try. Weld it on there, burn the paint, but sad face. But we have to fix this issue because it's very irritating. Can't be bothered stopping every 10 minutes to drain 2 litres of oil out of my catch can. Not optimal. So I'm going to chuck this back on now and make up the line to go to my catch can over here. And hopefully that fixes it. I'm going to drive the car this weekend on Sunday at Vic Drift over the hill practice event. It's just practice day. So, but I should be on track for longer periods of time. So it'll be a good test to see how much oil we can keep in the engine, because that is the goal. Alright, so I'm going to check this on. Stay tuned. So I've got my 90-degree fitting on here. I'm taking the nut off so I can work out the length of my hose. I've already fitted off the 45-degree on this end. So it comes out across here and it goes nicely over the top of the motor, cam cover. Well, not nicely, it's pretty ugly. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to have the cam covers fully exposed with no lines going over the top, but for aesthetics, but aesthetics doesn't stop the oil from coming out of the catch can, so ugly it is. So we take a Sharpie and we mark the line where we want to cut it, because we have to wrap masking tape. Like that there. Take it off. Hold that thought. Alrighty, so we've got a Sharpie mark on our line, and we have to wrap masking tape around to hold the stainless steel wire in place when we cut it with the grinding disc, because grinding disc makes the stainless hot. Stainless steel is a reactive metal. When it gets hot, it moves a lot. So when you cut the stainless steel braid without taping it, all the ends of the stainless steel wires, they get hot and then they just start to ring and move, and they all end up pointing outwards, and you can't get the nut on. You end up stabbing yourself a lot. It's very unpleasant. So you wrap the masking tape around. I usually wrap it around about 5 mil past the mark. That way I know exactly where to cut. And you kind of want to wrap it as tight as you can, so it holds those, because they're still going to try and move. Obviously you won't be able to stop them, but it will hold them a lot. Only need to go around twice, not 20 times. Ding. You got a grinder, and you don't want to dawdle, you don't want to go slow and be like, oh, I'm going through the hose, because the longer you take, the more heat you put into the stainless, and the more it's going to want to move. So, try to be quick. Let it cool down while the tape is still on there. Don't take the tape off straight away, because the ends of the stand are still hot, still trying to move. Leave it. And I will just take it over to the air compressor and blow all the rubber out, because some there. So you've got to clean it out. Degrease it as well, probably. Shove some degreaser down there, because we don't want any rubbery crap in our engine. Degrease it. So where you cut it is basically at the taper. So yeah, that's where you cut it. If you want to know where to mark it. Now it's cooled down. You can take off the tape. And you can see there's like literally barely any strands sticking out. Sideways. Couple little fellas. Nut goes on, easy peasy. Shove the nut down on a fair way. It makes it easier to start the internal sleeve bit that goes inside. There we go. Once it goes in there, screwing you on. Because this fitting is actually on the top of the motor, it's easy to get to, so I can tighten that up on there. Ah, got me. You can go here. Screw that one on there. In. Oh mate. There we go. Just like that. It's not bad. Hold it up. There we go. Let's hope that this fixes our issue. So now you can see height-wise, this one points up as well. It's all the way at the front. I'm hoping that the one at the far end, I'm really hoping that that one's not getting much oil out of it, and that all the oil was actually coming from the other fitting, the original fitting down the back, which is like super low. When you look at it now, it's like, wow, yeah, it's like so low. When you look at the engine, how far down it was. Look down at the side down here. Stupid. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, and it looked neat. Now I'm going to have scratch marks on top of my cam covers from the stupid braided hose. Why don't you just run rubber hose? Well, it doesn't look like a race car. But anyway, there it is. Test it out this weekend. See how much oil comes out of the cam covers with this setup. Try different things and try and alleviate the RB oil breathing issue, because surely it just can't be that the oil is just like flowing out of the oil lines that fast, that much of it. Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's that. This car's ready to go for the weekend. I've got to put my camber arms in MX5, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff still, all the GK Tech stuff to put in a Cat Seal 80. Lots to do, and then when I've done those projects, I've got a whole S14 to build. So, which I'd really like to do, get a good start on this year, get a lot of it done, and then finish it and have it running for early next year. That would be nice. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Too many projects. Check out ilovedrift.com.au for the merch and stuff. And like, comment, subscribe. And see you on the next one. Bye.